Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm going to do a quick hello, Shacky update. Come on, guys, because I figure it's been a while, and I got Asher and Shaq, and I'm actually walking in the neighborhood to access the winery instead of driving around. Remember, we had that problem with that one weird neighbor who thought that he owned the entryway to the winery over here, which he doesn't, and the other neighbor who lives on the adjacent property is always telling me I should drive here even if I want, but it's like a quarter of a mile or less to walk, so I prefer to walk. But also we had a problem with another neighbor who I was worried couldn't control his dogs. He had two of them, now he only has one, so it's just more peace so I can walk. I'm going up a big hill again, you guys, but anyway, it's a few days before we head to a show in Washington, which will be nice because we haven't had a show in I guess about a month or a few weeks. I think I lost track. But anyway, the new year I'm planning to show less, like every 6 to 8 weeks. But for now, it's so much Daisy and Asher's fun that they need it. So Asher, thank you, Ashy. He's pulling me and Shaq up the hill because look at Shaq. Bless her, you guys. 12 and a half. One of the reasons I wanted to do this update is to tell this story. Here, guys, come on over this way. All right, I'll give everybody a goodie. So I wanted to give you guys an update on the yard fence with the one neighbor that I showed pictures of. That was horrific. Here's Shaq. And, okay, wait a minute, guys. Okay, let's get going. All right, come on. Anyway, what we did, and I mean, I know that I should and may well do it, but who has the time or energy? But if I took her to small claims court, like a couple people have advised, then, and I have no reason to think she doesn't have plenty of money. She could have built the fence any time, and we've gone 3 years of being nothing but kind and sweet and giving her opportunities. And I don't know if she's just a dog hoarder or what her problem is, but it's also very unfair to those stressed out little dogs. But here's what we did. So we paid for the survey, and then we, to establish it's our own dang property, which was absurd in the first place, but that's what you have to do, I guess, when you want help from something like animal control. Then they gave us a trap and helped us, but we haven't been using the trap because either she's temporarily getting better or it actually worked what we did, which we also had to pay to get help to install, and it's ugly as hell, I might add. I told Al it would be like the artist Cristo if I could paint it, spray paint it pink, but for now we have black plastic as a barrier. I found fencing that came with like picket little stakes set about a foot apart and black plastic, all of which we put on her side of it, but for us you can just see the black plastic. Even though I do think it's real ugly, it does create a little kind of nice, I mean, it's already so quiet out here, but it's like a little sound. It kind of feels a little comforting, and I ordered some fence art, like really pretty metallic butterfly sculptures from Etsy, and those cost me about $100, so altogether we're over $1,000, well, maybe even $1,500 of expenses for all this, which certainly we don't feel like we have in today's economy. So I may just do the small claims, but it's ugly, so who knows. But anyway, that's an update there. And then here's the bigger update. My precious angel Shaq. A lot of people are posting about losing 12-year-old Staffords, which I don't know why I think it's young. I mean, God, Dobermans are like ancient if they're 9. But Shaq, the Staffords, it still says that 10 to 12 is their lifespan, but the True Grip lines that we come from have such great longevity, and I'm just getting to where I'm assuming she would go longer. And honestly, don't get me even started on that VCA surgery that they did that was so unnecessary when she was 11, and then they tell me, oh, there was nothing there, and they explore deep into her lung. I mean, ridiculous. But anyway, that's where you do want an attorney, and my sister is one, but she was in the middle of a huge thing with PG&E. So I don't think she had time for my small potatoes at that time, but we definitely would have not only not had to pay the bill, but we would have won. I mean, I know the vet was nice and everything and young, and she admitted her error, but still I feel that set Shaq back. Her breathing hasn't been the same. But anyway, she normally does great, as you guys can see. Well, 2 days ago it gave me the world's greatest scare because she vomited. And I honestly can't remember when Shaq has vomited. She's such a strong ox, but she vomited like 3 times. It was a couple days ago, of course, on the weekend. I think it was Saturday. And bless her heart, she kept trying to eat. So I was like, well, she's still hungry. Maybe it was just something she ate earlier. And I gave her a meal, and then she vomited that whole thing up. And she was up like 4 times in the night. And of course, I got about 3 hours sleep because I was so worried that we were going to have to take her to that same terrible emergency place because it's the only one around this area. And so I panicked, and gosh darn, the next day she was totally fine. She went for a walk. She was very, very tired, but she wanted to walk. She wanted to eat, no puking. And then that night she slept like Shaq. I would call you the slumber queen because she stayed in the bed with me, which sometimes she roves in the night like a lot of seniors do. Look at Asher. He's beautiful. Anyway, just a minute, guys. She slept in the night for probably, gosh, I don't know. She stayed after I got up, and she never moved the whole time I was there. So I think she had a good 10-hour slumber, didn't she, Shaq? And now she's full of fire and back to it. She walked yesterday with tons of vigor, and she's doing it again. Although we like Asher pulling us up the hill, don't we, Ash? Yeah, come on, buddy. Even I'm getting, but I shouldn't rely on it because I'm trying to get more fit, not less so. But Asher, he's so fired up now that he's over that bronchitis thing. He still has the slightest little huff sound, but it's getting better and better. So once again, I say my vet, which it is so good to have a great vet. Come on, guys, he was right, and it is just what it was like a bronchitis, and it has lingering effects. And I've been throwing the ball for him again, but because he can't get enough of that. But see all these little grasses? He still comes back with grasses on his ball, so I clean it every time. But sometimes I see him still gagging to get like a piece of grass out. Plus, it didn't help that about 3 weeks ago, I don't know if I mentioned this, but he was actually eating, what you see, Ashy? Oh, yes, I know, we see goodies. They thought they saw something else. Hold on. Anyway, it doesn't help that he was eating here. Oh, come on, bud, this way. He was eating a branch, a tree branch, which I've never really seen Asher do, but that was about maybe 3 weeks ago, and I thought, well, that's certainly not going to help your trachea. But anyway, he's looking great and feeling great, aren't you, Ash? When I look at Asher and I hear people's complaints, it just makes me laugh because look at him. He basically defines the standard. Like most males, he weighs a little more and he's, you know, a little shorter. But is this not a balanced dog? Haters just can't see it. They can't see their own problems, but they also can't see the strengths. Look at him. He has gorgeous, tight, medium, strong feet. He has beautiful cheek pouches, which are not always present and are definitely called for. These are all things in our standard. A pump handle tail, a low set tail, a beautiful wide and deep. That's where he gets criticized. I suppose people think too deep. And he's got, it says bone. It doesn't say what amount of bone. And Asher has bone. And you see dogs that just don't look like this, but gorgeous rib spring. And look, he even has the tuck up, which I love and probably accounts for his gorgeous movement. And that doesn't mean I think he's a perfect dog. I'd like to see shorter, maybe a tad bit longer upper arm and a little bit smaller ears, but his ears are still great. He has a perfect bite, beautiful eyes, don't you, buddy boy? And even our standard just says lips tight and clean, which he has very tight and clean lips, and he has wrinkles under his eyes like lots of red dogs and on his beautiful furrow. But sometimes people say, oh, they like a cleaner head. Well, his neck should be a little more clean and outlined, but he has a beautiful flow of the neck into the shoulders. And that's what these people don't realize either. I see so many dogs, they're posting and getting 300 likes, unless it's just the popularity club of the losers, which happens. But the likes are for, you can't tell now because he's got his collar on, but he normally has a beautiful flow into the shoulders. All the dogs that I have right now do have that, which I'm grateful for because it's something that I like to look at. And Asher also, his shoulders might have a little more angulation to them. They could, but not. I mean, they're basically very well angulated, which again is why he moves so well. now. His angles are balanced all over. So I like to do this just to maybe have my puppy owners who start to learn about the standard, hopefully, which, guys, if you're listening to this, you really should read that standard all the time and every time before you show, because these people criticizing not only Asher but other dogs, and again, liking these dogs that I was about to describe that have necks that are just like 3 pieces, and it's supposed to be a beautiful, smooth flow of the neck into the shoulders, gradually widening at the shoulders, and a strong, short, powerful neck, not these long, ill-placed necks like I've been seeing, or too short and stuffy, which I haven't seen as much lately, but I sure have seen terrible feet and terrible necks and not good bites. I mean, bad eyes, small, squinty eyes, and Daisy, she'll get faulted for basically the one fault she has against the standard is her eye is a little light, but it absolutely bears relation to coat color. And in our seminar, it says straight out that I went to the breed seminar for my mentor, never penalize a dilute dog for a light eye. Her eye shape is perfect. They're big, and they're not that light, to be honest. You don't even see the lightness until she's outside, so no one else is mentioned. But I like to see the flaws in my dogs. That's what people laugh. They think because I think my dog is a good dog, and because he wins a lot, I somehow think he's perfect. That's just the assumption. I've never said something like that in my life, but anyway, it's just, let me get going on that stupid show thing, you guys, but I do want to say something real quick. And again, please, puppy owners, if you're listening to this, it's just so sad, but at the shows, we'll let our dogs play away from others because some people filed a complaint against me, a formal complaint, which was so absurd and started simply because of a conversation I had with the judge to ask her to pay attention to the temperamental variables. Again, I never even mentioned a dog. I've talked about that, and that was my right. But the stupid ring steward spread that all around, and it was supposed to be a private conversation. The lady said that she heard it from the judge, not the ring steward, that she was dealing with an aggressive dog in the ring. But if that's what she said, according to a lot of people, that judge can be very confused. No one ever talked about an aggressive dog. But also, like my friend pointed out, what ring was she even talking about? She might not have even been talking about our ring. So that's how terrible and intractable these rumors are. And thank God the whole case got dismissed, which I'm shocked, because the way justice is nowadays, I figured I'd be completely getting wrongfully convicted, so to speak, because it was nothing anyway but removal. It would have been from our parent club, but it would have been a horrible, egregious wrong, and I was really willing to even look into legal representation after, because it would have been so stupid. But listen, puppy owners, this is what I'm saying. They also put in there that Daisy was aggressive, believe that or not, and like a couple of people said to me, what's she gonna do, kiss him to death? And then also that we should have never bred Willow because she bit off her mom's ear, which couldn't be further from the truth, by the way, if the haters ever listen to this, or anybody who's inclined to believe that. It was actually, Shaq is her grandma, number one, not her freaking mom. Number two, it was Asher that got the ear, we're pretty sure. Number three, that was a fight that was 100%, as most of them are, caused by humans. When Al put that plate of food down, I think most of my followers know about it because I talked about it. Anyway, Shaq was just as equally guilty, all three of them. It was like a match to fire. They just, and this is what they were bred for, guys, sorry. And I hate it, and we've had beautiful, blissful harmony since. As anyone knows, we work so hard. We try very hard to breed temperamentally golden dogs, of which all Willow's puppies are. And I just always say that all that was thrown in there to try to get me in trouble, but also because if people are jealous of my winning, you guys, that's nothing compared to being jealous of the breeding success we've had. And I don't take that lightly. I'm so humble. You could have a litter of 5 cleft palates and I could be the next person that happens to. So I just live in gratitude that we have had such amazing results. And I'm going to wrap this up on a positive note by saying that whole thing caused me to, well, I lost track of my thought, which is for you puppy owners, please know that at the shows, I will be keeping Daisy because she gets crate aggressive, which 90% of the dogs do, but I'm under the microscope now. So I feel, I mean, nobody said that I was under the microscope. The whole thing just got completely dismissed. And that's the way it is. But I don't want Daisy to be crate aggressive or anything, so we're going to have to be A++, and we'll just let our dogs play later. And she might, you know, she's a puppy, she's used to our pack. She might once in a while, but she plays well with almost all the puppies she's met and all the big dogs she met from, I mean, I'd say 90% of them. So she's a great Stafford, and actually has a better temperament than I would expect with other dogs. But I still want to monitor that. So at the show, you guys, especially if you're listening, Sean, or even Stacy and Anthony or Fu and Kathy, we want to make sure that we keep Daisy, and certainly Fu, you're trying to say that maybe Mochi has that edge. We're not going to let her have that edge. It's just like I talked to you about. That's up to us, and people can foster that, and we want to keep the dogs away from others. When we go and do our own letting them play, we know they can test, and we'll know what's safe to do. So that's number one. And then wrapping it up on a positive, I still continue to have the most incredible, wonderful puppy owners and families. I'm going to see both Tavish and Bill this weekend, maybe even Sweet Iggy, the grand puppy of Willow's, is going to finish. Maybe Daisy will finish. They only both need one major now, which is incredible. And then who else do we have that's out there? Oh, little sweet Precious Finchley, aka Diana, and of course Pepper, Precious Doreen, Henrietta. They're going to be coming to a show in 2 weeks, the last show of the year. So I'm going to 2 back-to-back shows, which doesn't show that I'm cutting back very much, but it's just because of the last hurrah at the end of the year. Then nothing till Palm Springs, so where a lot of puppies will come. So I'll try to get you guys videos at the shows. And yeah, I'm just going to focus on the complete positive. I'm so grateful for all my wonderful puppy owners. And look, what a beautiful day. I got a shot of the mountain for you guys if you can see it. I'll see if I can zoom and get it. Yeah, good. And then, are you two looking real beautiful? My old Shacky. All right, bye everybody. Have a great holiday season.